Beloved child of God, welcome into this sacred moment of divine alignment. As the world grows quiet and the shadows of the day begin to fade, know that you have been led here by the Holy Spirit. If you are here right now, it is not by chance. Tonight is not merely a time for rest. It is a night of divine exposure and supernatural intervention. Heaven is moving to reveal what has been hidden and to guard every vulnerable area of your life. I invite you to stay with me until the very end of this prayer. Do not rush this moment, for the Lord is attentive to your cry. You will not wake up the same. Peace will flood your soul, and you will enter a covenant of divine protection. Psalm 70 and Psalm 140 are not gentle prayers. They are spiritual weapons, divine alarms that activate exposure, justice, and supernatural protection over your life. These psalms were written for people under attack, people being watched, opposed, resisted, sabotaged, or targeted by envy. If you have felt a pressure that makes no sense, or if you have discerned that someone was not who they appeared to be, listen closely. If you have sensed spiritual interference, or if you have felt observed, drained, or spiritually stretched, God brought you here to intervene. Not later, not eventually, but today. Psalm 70 opens with a cry that shakes the spiritual realm. Hasten, O God, to deliver me. Come quickly to help me, O Lord. This is not a slow prayer. This is not a casual prayer. This is an urgent, heaven-moving command. There are moments when you need God to move now, and today is one of those moments. Some of the battles you are facing were never meant to last. They were meant to be broken. Today, there are people who rose up against you quietly with smiles on their faces and hidden intentions in their hearts. There are unseen forces tracking your steps and arrows aimed at your peace, your stability, and your progress. But God is about to expose them fully, clearly, and unmistakably. He will not only expose them, but He will dismantle everything they planned. Declare this now. God, expose what has been hidden in my life. Say it again. No enemy remains in the dark. God brings everything to light. Your spirit needs this. Psalm 140 reveals the second layer. Deliver me, O Lord, from evil men. Preserve me from violent men who plan evil things in their heart. These evil men include those who pretend to support you but quietly resist you. They are individuals who envy what you carry, those who manipulate, twist words, or create confusion. These are spiritual forces that monitor your progress and invisible attacks meant to weaken your emotions. They are the traps created to embarrass or block you, but the Lord says, not anymore. Tonight, God is exposing every hidden plot, every jealous intention, and every harmful agenda. Every silent competitor, every envious spirit, every demonic monitoring, and every spiritual arrow is being dealt with. Nothing hidden will stay hidden. Declare, every plot against me is exposed by God. Say it again. I walk in divine clarity and protection. You are stepping out of confusion and into revelation. The combination of Psalm 70 plus Psalm 140 is explosive. One calls God quickly into the battle. The other reveals the darkness of the enemy. Together they create a spiritual shield no attack can penetrate. This is why the enemy has been restless. This is why pressure increased recently. This is why your mind felt overwhelmed. This is why your sleep was disturbed. This is why sudden irritation or sadness appeared from nowhere. This is why you felt blocked, delayed, or slowed down. It wasn't random. It was resistance. But now the resistance meets the fire of God. Now the traps collapse. Now the arrows fail. Now the enemy loses access. Now the darkness loses visibility. Now every spiritual attack loses its target. Tonight, God builds a wall of protection around your mind, your emotions, your relationships, your finances, your calling, your purpose, and your future. Declare, a wall of fire surrounds me. Again, no enemy can cross the protection God establishes around my life. This is divine security, not human defense. Psalm 140 continues with a terrifying command against those who plot in secret. Let the mischief of their own lips cover them, meaning the harm they spoke returns to them. The lies they told are revealed. The confusion they created falls apart. The gossip they spread boomerangs back. The trap they dug becomes their own pit. Nothing formed against you will stand. Not spiritually, not emotionally, not relationally, not financially. God is turning every plan of your enemies into dust. Declare, what was sent against me returns to the sender again. God protects me. I will not fear what others plan. Fear loses its grip when truth enters the room. Psalm 70 shows the other half of the equation. God not only exposes enemies, He elevates those who seek Him. Let those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Meaning, while your enemies fall, you rise. While they collapse under their own intentions, you are strengthened. While they stumble in darkness, you walk in clarity. While traps break, doors open. While God silences attacks, He amplifies your purpose. Protection isn't just God defending you. It's God lifting you into a higher place, a safer place, a blessed place. Declare, God lifts me above every attack. Again, protection and promotion arrive together in my life. That is the psalmic pattern, and it is your pattern tonight. Psalm 140 ends with a prophetic declaration that seals your future. Surely the righteous shall give thanks to your name. The upright shall dwell in your presence. This is your assurance. You will not fall. You will not be defeated. You will not be overtaken. You will not be tricked. You will not be harmed. You will not be devoured. You will not be silenced. God's presence is your home, and no enemy can enter there. Declare, I dwell in the presence of God. No evil can reach me. Again, my life is sealed under divine protection. Feel the weight of that truth. You are untouchable when God surrounds you. This is not imagination. This is scripture. This is covenant. This is war, and you are protected. Your enemies are being exposed. Your protection is being sealed. Your clarity is being restored. Your spirit is being strengthened. Your steps are being guarded. Your destiny is being protected. Your atmosphere is being purified. God is surrounding you today, right now, in this moment. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, don't ignore it. Type, God is my defender, in the comments as an act of faith. As you declare it, believe that heaven is already responding. Like this video, subscribe to the channel and stay until the end, because what God is about to reveal and protect in your life begins now. I receive the light of God today. There are battles you can see, and there are battles that hunt you from the shadows. Some attacks are loud, visible, and obvious. Others are quiet, strategic, calculated, and spiritually engineered. Psalm 70 and Psalm 140 speak to the invisible battles, the ones no one else saw, but you felt. You felt the sudden heaviness. You felt the emotional pressure. You felt the spiritual resistance. You felt the confusion that made no sense. You felt the draining conversations. You felt the atmosphere shift around certain people. You felt the delay tightening around your plans. You felt the unseen eyes watching your steps. You felt the arrows of anxiety, fear, discouragement, or intimidation. You were not imagining it. You were discerning it. And today, God steps into this battle with fire. God exposes every secret attack against your life. Psalm 140 reveals the true nature of hidden warfare. They devised mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. This means the attack didn't start with words. It didn't start with actions. It didn't start with conflict. It started inside the heart of the one who planned it. Before the attack existed in the natural, it existed in the spiritual. Before the trap was visible, it was formed in darkness. Before the battle reached your life, the enemy whispered it in someone's spirit. But God is the one who sees into hearts. God is the one who reveals motives. God is the one who exposes intentions. God is the one who uncovers hidden agendas. Today He shines light into places where darkness hid. Declare, God exposes every hidden intention around my life. Say it again. No plan formed in darkness will survive God's light. revelation is already breaking through. God destroys every invisible pressure that has been surrounding you. You know that pressure you've been feeling, that tightening on your chest, that heaviness in the atmosphere. The fatigue that came out of nowhere, the sadness with no explanation, the mental fog, the irritation that didn't match your day, the sudden discouragement, the spiritual weight. That wasn't just life, it was spiritual pressure. Pressure sent to weaken you, pressure sent to distract you, pressure sent to silence you, pressure sent to slow you, pressure sent to oppress you, pressure sent to cloud your discernment, pressure sent to make you doubt your progress. Psalm 140 calls these attacks arrows sharpened by the wicked, but today, God breaks every arrow. Every spiritual weight lifts. Every emotional heaviness dissolves. Every fog in your mind clears. Every invisible tension breaks. Every oppressive atmosphere is burned away. The pressure that surrounded you is losing its power. Declare, every invisible attack breaks off my life now. Again, I breathe freely under God's protection. Your freedom begins here. God cuts off every form of spiritual monitoring. You felt watched, didn't you? Not physically, but spiritually. You felt observed. You felt invaded. You felt your progress was being tracked. You felt someone was waiting for you to fail. You felt your steps were being followed. You felt resistance every time you tried to advance. Psalm 140 exposes this. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. This is the language of monitoring spirits and envious people who speak poison behind closed doors. But today, God cuts off their access. The eyes that were watching you go blind. The voices that cursed you fall silent. The spirits that monitored you lose your signal. The people who whispered about you are exposed. The forces that tracked you are destroyed. The arrows aimed at you dissolve before reaching your soul. Declare the monitoring ends now. Say it again. Every watching spirit loses sight of my life. The shield of God is surrounding you. God breaks every trap that was prepared for you. The enemy loves hidden traps. Traps in relationships. Traps in opportunities. Traps in decisions. Traps in conversations. Traps built through envy. Traps born in silence. Traps designed to embarrass you. Traps meant to delay you. Psalm 140 describes these traps. They have hidden a snare for me. They have spread a net by the wayside. Some of these traps you almost stepped into. Some you sensed in your spirit. Some God pulled you away from. Some He blocked without you even knowing. Some He allowed you to see just in time. And today, God breaks every single one. Hidden traps lose their power. Silent traps are revealed. Strategic traps collapse. Emotional traps are exposed. Relational traps are stopped. Financial traps dissolve. Spiritual traps burn in the presence of God. Declare, every trap the enemy built breaks. Today again, I will not fall where the enemy expected me to. You are protected from every unseen ambush. God reverses every word and every curse spoken against you. Words are spiritual. Words carry weight. Words carry assignment. Words build or destroy. Some people spoke words of envy, words of doubt, and words of negativity. They spoke words of jealousy, words of sabotage, and words hoping you wouldn't succeed. But Psalm 140 declares, "Let the mischief of their own lips cover them." This means the negativity they sent returns, the curse they spoke collapses, the gossip they spread loses its power, the word they released comes back empty. Nothing spoken against your life will stand. Not spiritually, not emotionally, not relationally, and not prophetically. Declare, every negative word spoken against my life is reversed. Blessing covers me. Curses cannot touch me. Heaven speaks louder. God builds a wall of protection that cannot be broken. Psalm 140 ends with this promise. You are my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. This is not a request. It is a declaration. It is God stepping between you and every threat. He is a wall of fire, a wall of truth, and a wall of angels. He is a wall of clarity, a wall of divine security, and a wall no human or spiritual force can breach. From this point on, the attacks that used to reach you will fall before they touch you. The arrows that used to drain your strength will burn in midair. The fear that used to grip you will dissolve instantly. The confusion that clouded your vision will disappear. The people who once influenced your peace will lose access. Declare, God surrounds me with unbreakable protection. My life is covered by the fire of God. You are stepping into a protected season, a safe season, and a guarded season. God is exposing your enemies and sealing your protection at the same time. Nothing will be the same. His protection is my shield today. Some of the greatest battles you have faced were not physical. They were battles of voices. Voices of accusation, voices of lies, and voices of comparison. They were voices of jealousy, voices of doubt, and voices of intimidation. These were voices that spoke when you were not present. They were voices that whispered in spiritual places and voices that rose up behind your back. They were voices that declared things over your life that God never said. Psalm 70 and Psalm 140 are God's answer to those voices. They do not simply comfort you, they bring justice. In the spiritual realm, voices are weapons. They can build you or break you. They can open doors or shut them. They can lift you or drain you. They can bless or poison. You have been surrounded by voices that did not come from God. But today, God silences every single one. God silences the voices of accusation. Psalm 70 boldly declares, "Let those who seek my life be put to shame and confusion." Accusation is the enemy's oldest weapon. The enemy doesn't need facts. He only needs a whisper. But God says, "Those who tried to shame you will be silenced. Those who twisted your words will lose their influence. Those who spoke without truth will face their own confusion. You will not live under the weight of accusation anymore. God clears your name. God restores your honor. God cancels every spoken attack. God shuts the mouths that rose against you. God exposes the lies that were built in the dark. Declare, every accusing voice against me is silenced by God. Say it again. My name is protected by heaven. Your identity is not the enemy's playground. It belongs to God. God silences the voices of jealousy and comparison. Psalm 140 reveals hearts full of jealousy. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Jealousy doesn't always show itself with obvious hostility. Sometimes it hides behind fake support, polite words, forced smiles, passive behavior, random distance, subtle competition, and quiet monitoring. Jealousy carries poison, the kind that spreads slowly into the atmosphere. But God silences jealous voices. He removes their access. He exposes their motives. He blocks their influence. He protects your spirit from their poison. He shuts down every whisper spoken in envy. Declare, jealousy loses its voice over my life. Again, I am not defined by the opinions of others. Jealousy cannot stop destiny. It only reveals who was never meant to walk with you. God silences the voices that spoke against your future. Some voices didn't speak against your present. They spoke against your future. They said you wouldn't succeed. They said you wouldn't prosper. They said you were unprepared. They said you would fail. They said doors wouldn't open for you. They said you were overrated. They said you wouldn't sustain the blessing. These weren't just human voices. They were spiritual assignments. But God says in Psalm 70, "Let them turn back because of their shame." Meaning, every voice that predicted your failure will be embarrassed by your success. Every voice that questioned your growth will witness your elevation. Every voice that doubted your calling will see God's proof. Every voice that mocked your faith will face God's judgment. Every voice that declared limitation will watch God expand you. Declare, my future is not shaped by voices, it is shaped by God. Again, every negative declaration over my destiny is canceled. Your future is secure. God silences the voices of fear inside your own mind. Sometimes the loudest enemy is internal. You've heard internal whispers like, "You won't make it, you're not enough. Something bad is coming. You're not progressing. You don't deserve blessings. You always fail at the last moment. You won't recover from this. You're not strong enough. Fear becomes a voice. But fear is a liar. Psalm 70 and Psalm 140 crush fear by establishing truth. God is with you. God is defending you. God is exposing what you cannot see. God is protecting what you carry. God is aligning what belongs to you. God is going before you. God is covering your steps. God is surrounding your future. Tonight, fear loses its microphone. Declare, the voice of fear is silenced again. God's truth speaks louder inside me. Your mind is shifting from survival to confidence. God silences the voices that spoke against your progress. Have you ever noticed that every time you are about to rise, something or someone tried to distract, discourage, or derail you? Spiritual momentum attracts resistance. The enemy doesn't fight where nothing is happening. He fights where progress is taking place. Psalm 140 exposes this strategy. They have spread a net by the wayside, meaning the enemy tried to trap you on the way, not at the finish line. He tried to sabotage your progress early so you would walk into your blessing weakened. But God breaks these voices. Every distraction loses its grip. Every discouragement loses its hold. Every lie loses its influence. Every attack loses its timing. Every resistance loses its strength. Declare, no voice will stop my progress. Again, God clears the way for my steps. Your momentum is returning. God silences the voices that spoke against your identity. Identity attacks are powerful because they hit your foundation. The enemy tried to distort your identity through criticism, abandonment, rejection, comparison, emotional wounds, past failures, internal shame, and spiritual heaviness. But Psalm 140 declares a shift. I know the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted. God fights for your identity. God restores your self-worth. God lifts your confidence. God strengthens your heart. God rebuilds what insecurity tried to destroy. God reveals who you truly are, chosen, protected, set apart, and anointed. Declare, my identity belongs to God alone. Again, no voice can redefine who God created me to be. Your identity is being rebuilt stronger than ever. God silences every voice that stood against your purpose. Some voices rise against what you are called to do. Voices that criticize your progress. Voices that minimize your calling. Voices that undermine your value. Voices that mock your faith. Voices that resist your blessing. But Psalm 70 announces, let those who seek my hurt be turned back. Every voice against your purpose turns back. Every voice against your calling loses influence. Every voice against your blessing collapses. Every voice against your destiny is silenced. Your purpose is too valuable for God to leave undefended. Declare, God silences every voice against my purpose. Again, my calling stands protected by heaven. Your purpose is entering protected territory. Enemies speak, but God silences. Voices rise, but God shuts them down. Words were released, but God reverses them. This is your moment of justice, where the noise stops and peace reigns. God's truth is the only voice that defines me today. There are moments in spiritual warfare where God does not just expose the enemy, He disarms the enemy. Psalm 70 and Psalm 40 take you into that phase of victory. This is the moment where every weapon formed against you loses its power, its aim, its strategy, and its assignment. You are stepping into that moment now. Some attacks were formed in the dark. Some weapons were crafted in silence. Some plans were designed around your weakness. Some traps were set in moments of vulnerability. Some arrows were aimed at your emotions. Some words were meant to break your confidence. Some spiritual distractions were meant to derail your focus. Some barriers were placed intentionally to slow your progress. But today, under the authority of Psalm 70 and Psalm 140, every weapon loses its strength. God destroys the weapons of fear that have followed you. Fear is a weapon, a slow, subtle, suffocating weapon. Fear tries to convince you that danger is near. It tells you that you are unprotected, alone, and vulnerable. It whispers that something bad is about to happen, that you are not strong enough, and that you are not safe. But fear is a liar. Today, God dismantles the spirit behind fear. Psalm 140 reveals that fear often comes through arrows sent at the soul. But the moment God enters your battle, those arrows burn before reaching your heart. Feel it. The tightening in your chest loosens. The paranoia dissolves. The irrational worries fade. The fear of the unknown breaks. The anxiety that followed you stops. The sense of danger lifts from your atmosphere. Declare, fear is no longer a weapon against me. God protects my mind from every fearful thought. Your spirit is stepping into calm. God destroys the weapons formed against your peace. Peace has been under attack. You have felt it. Sudden restlessness, unexpected emotional heaviness, anxious mornings and heavy nights. You have faced dreams that felt spiritually disturbing, random sadness, irrational worry, mental pressure, and emotional instability. These were not random emotional shifts, they were targeted attacks. Psalm 70 describes enemies who seek your hurt, and this includes hurting your peace. But today, God destroys every weapon aimed at your emotional stability. Your peace is returning, your sleep is protected, your mind is calming, your nights are becoming safe again, your mornings will no longer feel heavy, your inner world is stabilizing. Declare, my peace is untouchable under God's protection. No attack can enter the space God guards. Your soul is being shielded. God destroys the weapons aimed at your relationships. Attacks often come through people, not because they are your enemies, but because the enemy uses the unguarded. Psalm 140 speaks of people who twist your words, misinterpret your intentions, provoke conflict, and speak without truth. They create tension, stir confusion, introduce doubt, destabilize trust, and drain your emotions. But today, God dismantles every relational weapon. Conversations will become clearer, misunderstandings will dissolve, wrong people will lose access, and the right people will be drawn near. Manipulation will be exposed, jealousy will be cut off, tension will fade, trust will be rebuilt. God protects not only your life, He protects your circle. Declare, God shields my relationships from every spiritual attack. Only those aligned with my purpose may remain. Your atmosphere is being purified. God destroys the weapons aimed at your progress. Every time you got close to breakthrough, something tried to interfere. Every time momentum began to build, a distraction appeared. Every time clarity came, confusion followed. Every time an opportunity opened, a delay showed up. These were not coincidences. They were weapons. Psalm 140 describes them as nets and snares, traps aimed at your progress. But today, God releases fire upon every barrier. Progress returns, momentum returns, energy returns, and motivation returns. Direction returns, clarity returns, speed returns, and confidence returns. Declare, no weapon can stop my progress again. Everything God planned for me moves forward. Your path is clearing. God destroys the weapons aimed at your purpose. Purpose is always attacked. The enemy fears your calling, your influence, your anointing, and your progress. He fears your voice, your assignment, your future, your impact, and your growth. But Psalm 70 cries out, let them be turned back and brought to confusion. Every enemy of your purpose is turning back today. Confusion enters their camp. Their strategies collapse. Their timing fails. Their surveillance breaks. Their communication dissolves. Their influence evaporates. Your purpose rises. Declare, my purpose is untouchable. God protects it. I walk in my assignment without fear. Your calling is moving into its strongest season. God destroys the weapons aimed at your finances. Some financial pressure you experienced wasn't natural, it was spiritual. Sudden expenses, unexpected losses, opportunities that disappeared, and clients who backed out. Ideas that stalled, income that fluctuated, provision that slowed, and doors that closed without reason. But today, God destroys the weapon of financial attack. Provision flows again, resources return, stability rises, unexpected favor appears. Open doors come quickly, ideas multiply, breakthrough activates. Your hands prosper, your path expands. Declare, no weapon formed against my finances will prosper again. God restores the flow of provision in my life. Your supply is protected. God destroys the weapons aimed at your destiny. The enemy did not fight you because of your present. He fought you because of your future, because you carry influence, because you carry authority, because you carry calling, because you carry destiny, because you carry light, because you carry impact, because you carry transformation. But today, every destiny-blocking weapon burns in God's fire. Your future opens, your vision expands, your path becomes clear. Your spirit strengthens, your calling advances, your momentum accelerates, your purpose stabilizes, your destiny is protected. Declare, my destiny is guarded and unstoppable. Again, the future God wrote for me will come to pass. This is more than protection. This is sealing. God surrounds me with his shield of fire today. Indeed, there is a moment in spiritual warfare when God does more than expose the enemy, more than break weapons, more than silence voices, and more than dismantle traps. There is a moment when God lifts you out of the battlefield entirely and places you in a realm where attacks cannot reach you anymore. Psalm 70 and Psalm 140 lead you into that moment. This is the shift where God says you will no longer live in reaction to attacks. You will live above them. There are levels of warfare, and there are levels where warfare loses access to you. Tonight, God moves you into a higher level. God lifts you above the reach of your enemies. Some attacks hit you because you were directly in the enemy's line of sight. Some battles were intense because your spirit was accessible. Some arrows reached you because you were still within the enemy's atmosphere. But Psalm 140 declares something powerful. You have covered my head in the day of battle. This is not basic protection. This is elevation. God lifts you above what tried to destroy you. What touched you before cannot touch you now. What drained you before cannot drain you now. What intimidated you before cannot intimidate you now. What slowed you before cannot slow you now. What discouraged you before cannot discourage you now. What influenced your mind before cannot influence you now. You have been moved into higher spiritual ground. Declare, God lifts me above every attack. Again, I am no longer reachable by the weapons that once affected me. This is separation by elevation. God places you in a realm of untouchable clarity. Confusion was one of the enemy's strongest tools against you. Confusion in decisions, confusion in relationships, confusion in emotions, and confusion in opportunities. Confusion about timing, confusion about direction, confusion about people's intentions, and confusion about your next step. But clarity comes with elevation. When God lifts you higher, the fog disappears. Suddenly, things make sense. Suddenly, motives are obvious. Suddenly, your intuition is sharper. Suddenly, the right decisions become clear. Suddenly, peace becomes your compass. Suddenly, your spirit recognizes truth instantly. Psalm 70 says, "Let those who seek you rejoice and be glad." Rejoicing is impossible without clarity. Clarity of who God is, clarity of who you are, and clarity of what He is doing. Declare, my mind is lifted into clarity. Again, I see with spiritual precision. The fog is gone. God elevates your spirit above the level of spiritual attack. There are 3 levels of spiritual position. 1, under attack, where you react to every battle. 2, protected from attack, where attacks fail, but still attempt. 3, above attack, where the enemy cannot reach your altitude. Psalm 140 moves you into level 3. You are not just shielded, you are elevated. Think of an eagle. It doesn't escape the storm. It flies above it. You will not live beneath the storm anymore. You will not live beneath the pressure anymore. You will not live beneath the spiritual noise anymore. You will not live beneath emotional turbulence anymore. Your spirit is rising. Declare, I rise above the storm. Again, I move in a higher realm of strength and protection. The enemy cannot follow you where God is taking you. God establishes a shield around your heart and your emotions. The enemy's favorite battlefield is not your surroundings. It is your heart. If he can wound your heart, he can weaken your faith. If he can poison your heart, he can distort your discernment. If he can break your heart, he can slow your destiny. If he can infect your heart with bitterness, he can disconnect you from purpose. But tonight, God shields your heart. Psalm 70 shows God as the one who comes quickly to protect. Psalm 140 shows God as the one who forms a covering around you. Your heart is being wrapped in divine protection. Old wounds are closing. Emotional attacks are dissolving. Fear is leaving. Insecurity is breaking. Heaviness is lifting. Anger is draining out. Inner stability is returning. You will not be emotionally manipulated again. You will not be spiritually drained by people again. You will not be internally destabilized again. Declare, my heart is protected by God. No voice, no attack, no person can influence my heart again. You are becoming emotionally untouchable. God lifts you into a realm where your purpose cannot be interrupted. Before elevation, your purpose was vulnerable. Distractions could reach it. Discouragement could weaken it. Confusion could blur it. Spiritual attack could delay it. Wrong people could influence it. Fear could silence it. But elevation changes everything. God lifts your purpose into a realm where distractions lose their access. Discouragement loses its voice. Confusion cannot enter. Attacks cannot interfere. Wrong people cannot influence you. Fear cannot stop you. Doubt cannot dominate you. Clarity guides your steps. Psalm 140 says, I know the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted. But that word maintain means God sustains your purpose. God protects your purpose. God strengthens your purpose. God advances your purpose. God stabilizes your purpose. God oversees your purpose. God prevents collapse. God ensures fulfillment. Declare, my purpose stands firm under God's hand. Again, no attack can interrupt what God is building in me. Your purpose moves forward with authority. God lifts you into a season of spiritual rest. This is the part the enemy fears most, because a rested believer is a dangerous believer. You're entering a season of mental rest, emotional rest, spiritual rest, relational rest, financial rest, and internal rest. Not laziness, but holy stability. Psalm 70 cries out for urgent help, and Psalm 140 answers with divine intervention. Once God fights for you, you don't have to fight the same battles again. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to worry about attacks. You don't have to monitor enemies. You don't have to anticipate opposition. You don't have to fear spiritual pressure. You don't have to live in survival mode. Declare, I enter God's rest. My spirit is safe and my path is protected. Rest is the fruit of victory. God places you in a realm where His presence becomes your shield. Psalm 140 ends with this prophetic vision. The upright shall dwell in your presence, meaning your protection is not a moment, it is a dwelling place. You will live surrounded by God. You will walk surrounded by God. You will sleep surrounded by God. You will make decisions surrounded by God. You will dream surrounded by God. You will move forward surrounded by God. Your entire atmosphere becomes divine territory. No dark force can enter. No enemy can break through. No attack can survive. No curse can land. No jealousy can influence. No hidden plan can touch you. Declare, I dwell inside God's protection. Again, I move in a realm of supernatural safety. Tonight, God raises you higher than every enemy, every attack, every threat, and every fear. I stand in the protection of God's presence today. You've walked through exposure, cleansing, and divine protection. You've walked through elevation and the restoration of clarity and strength. Now comes the final stage of this prayer, the sealing. Sealing means what God did cannot be undone. What God exposed cannot be hidden again. What God broke cannot be rebuilt. What God destroyed cannot return. What God lifted you out of cannot pull you back. What God protected is now untouchable. What God declared over your life is now permanent. Psalm 70 plus Psalm 140 come together to announce this battle is settled. You are not leaving this prayer the same way you entered. Tonight becomes a dividing line in your story. God seals you with a new level of spiritual security. Security is more than protection. You have the confidence that no attack will succeed. God is sealing you with security in your decisions, security in your purpose, security in your relationships, and security in your identity. He is sealing you with security in your calling, security in your spiritual walk, security in your finances, and security in your future. You will no longer question whether you are protected. You will know you are protected. Declare, "My life is sealed in the security of God." Again, no attack can break what God has sealed. This is holy confidence. God seals a wall of fire around your life. Psalm 140 declares God as your shield. But in this final moment, He increases the intensity. Your protection becomes a wall of fire. It is a wall that blinds the enemy and burns every approaching attack. It exposes every hidden plan and repels every spiritual arrow. It blocks every word spoken against you, purifies your atmosphere, and guards your destiny. This fire strengthens your spirit, terrifies darkness, and announces, "This one belongs to God." You are not walking into the next season unprotected. You are walking surrounded by fire. Declare, "God's fire surrounds my life. No darkness can cross the wall God builds around me." Your atmosphere is now holy ground. God seals your mind with clarity and peace. You will no longer live in cycles of confusion, overthinking, or irrational fear. You are finished with emotional storms, spiritual fog, and mental exhaustion. The warfare that targeted your mind is over. Psalm 70 begins with urgency, but Psalm 140 ends with divine peace. God seals your mind tonight. From now on, decisions become clearer and intuition becomes sharper. Fear loses its voice, anxiety loses its grip, heaviness loses its access, and confusion dissolves. Peace becomes your normal state. Declare, "My mind is sealed with the peace of God." No storm will rule my thoughts again. Your mental atmosphere is healed. God seals your path and protects your steps. Not only will God protect you, He will protect everywhere you go. He protects every location, every opportunity, every conversation, and every decision. He is over every door, every room you enter, and every environment you step into. Psalm 140 ends with a promise that the righteous will dwell in God's presence. This means your path is now covered. No trap will catch you, and no wrong door will distract you. No hidden agenda will surprise you, and no enemy will ambush you. No decision will derail you. No assignment of darkness will prosper. Declare, "My steps are sealed under God's direction. I walk only where God's presence goes with me." Your journey is protected before you even move. God seals your purpose and makes you untouchable. Your purpose is no longer vulnerable. It is sealed, protected, and guarded by heaven. It is covered by fire and strengthened by divine authority. No one will stop what God is building. No voice will cancel what God has declared. No jealousy will limit what God has released. Your life is hidden in Him. No attack will disrupt what God ordained. No darkness will delay what God scheduled. You are not stepping into a fragile future. You are stepping into a secured future. Declare, "My purpose is sealed by the hand of God." Again, I move forward with unstoppable divine protection. Your destiny is shifting into divine acceleration. God seals a new season of peace, authority, and strength over your life. This is not temporary relief. This is not a moment of calm. This is not a lucky break. This is a season of peace, clarity, authority, and confidence. It is a season of restored strength, divine protection, spiritual advancement, emotional balance, stability, and supernatural covering. You are entering days where spiritual battles become rare because you are now living above the reach of the enemy. Declare, "I step into a sealed season of peace and victory." Again, I am covered, protected, and strengthened by God. This is your divine transition. God seals you so you can advance without fear. Fear will no longer dictate what you attempt, what you say, where you go, or who you trust. Fear will no longer dictate what you build, what you dream, what you hope for, or what you pursue. God is sealing your courage. He is sealing your stability. He is sealing your faith. He is sealing your boldness. You will move forward without hesitation. You will take steps without trembling. You will walk into doors with assurance. You will operate with divine confidence. You will rise with a spirit of authority. Declare, I advance without fear. Again, God has sealed my courage for the season ahead. Your spirit is becoming fearless in this season of transition. You are not who you were before this prayer. Something shifted. You feel it even now. You are not the same person who started this prayer. Your spirit is stronger. Your mind is clearer. Your atmosphere is cleaner. Your discernment is sharper. Your emotions are lighter. Your path is straighter. Your protection is thicker. Your confidence is deeper. Your authority is higher. You have entered a new realm. Declare, I step into my new season under God's covering. Again, nothing formed against me will stand. This is your spiritual landmark moment. Declare in the comments, God's protection covers my life today. Like this video, as it helps it reach more people in spiritual battle. Subscribe to Guided by Psalms to receive daily prayers of protection, spiritual warfare, and strength. Share this video with someone who urgently needs this protection. Watch the next recommended video, for God still wants to speak to you today. God's shield surrounds me.